Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be here. You are coming in. Hi, Christina. How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about today. We're going to chat all about from going from a place where you feel stuck in life to your season of change. So, a quick introduction on who I am. My name is Reema from the Alignment Academy. Hi, Maxie. Hello. Nice to see you. My name is Reema of the Alignment Academy. And I help women go from a place of feeling stuck and feeling tired and feeling anxious and overworked and really help them transform their lives to their most juicy, aligned, luscious, easeful, playful lives. So that is what I do. Hi, bare hands. Hello, how are you? If you're here, definitely like introduce yourselves in the chat. Let me know also if you can see me and if you can hear me because this is my first live. So I just want to make sure the tech and everything is working. Also, drop in the chat. Yes, also drop in the chat. Thank you. So you can see me, you can hear me. Drop in the chat like where you're from, what city you're from, or what country you're from. Yes, and definitely engage if you have questions or even if things are coming up or gems, whatever it is, definitely share that in the chat as well. But let's get into it. Like, let's jump right into it. And ooh, North Carolina, New Jersey, love it. Love both of those states. And yeah, let's jump into it. If you see me looking down, it's because I actually, like, jotted down a few notes the other day when this topic came up. If yeah, if you see me looking at my notebook, but I kinda wanna talk about a time in my life where I felt stuck. And this it's an interesting story because surface level, if someone were to look at me when I was at this time in my life, they would probably think like, "Oh, Rima has it all together. She has all the things figured out." But it was actually probably one of the most, like, potent moments in my life where I just felt really, like, very stuck, very small, didn't really know what to do, didn't really know how to get out of it. I'm very grateful for this moment, but it was definitely rough when I was in the middle of it. And this is when I started my career. When I was in college, I went to school in New York City, and I kinda had this dream of working in the entertainment industry. So, I was like, "I'm gonna be a boss chick, I'm gonna work in the music industry, I'm gonna own the music industry, by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna be SVP," like, that was my whole vibe back then. And I got a job in the music industry, so I was so excited. I was like, "This is my first job, starting my career in the industry that I want, um, doing exactly what I want." I studied communications and marketing, so it was like it was my quote, unquote, "dream job" at the time, and I wanna say maybe, like, a few weeks in, I was like, "This is not it." Not even just that specific job, but just like the commute, the job, some of the people I was working with, I just felt really out of alignment, really out of integrity. But at the time, my mindset was, well, I have to give it time to kind of figure it out and, see if see if I'm supposed to be here, give it a few years because they say you should give a job a few years before you transition out. So I was like, okay, I'll stick with it. Even though looking back, my body actually gave me clear signs. I remember, like, sometimes my stomach would hurt in the workplace, and even when it was time to, like when I was like, "I absolutely have to get out of it," I remember going to work every day, my stomach would be in, like, knots. It was oh my gosh, it was the worst. So I stayed in this place, and then it got really, really toxic. I mean, some of the people I was working with, they just loved drama so much, and I they just it was just, like, very, like, miserable, drama, toxicness. I felt so stuck, and this journey is actually what kickstarted my self-care journey and my wellness journey on a deeper level, because it got to the point where I was like, "I have to break this cycle," or I was like, "This is really gonna affect my mental health in a negative way, like, I have to do something. I can't keep going into this place and, like, letting it drain me." Like, I felt like the soul was being sucked out of me. That's literally how it felt. So during that time period, that's actually when I started meditating regularly, almost like every day before I went in there and maybe after as well, because I was like, I have to do something different. And then I even started doing yoga before work. I was doing maybe like a 7 a.m. class. I was like, I pick something, like do the 7 a.m. class, to then like get ready, go on the train, commute to Manhattan. And I'm not even a morning person. I don't even wake up that early right now. So that just shows how I was like, I have to do something different. And eventually, when my body really started speaking to me, like, very loud and clear, I was like, "Okay, I thought this was my dream industry. I thought this was my trajectory for the next however long, and I was gonna stay in this industry for so long, but I absolutely cannot, like, I have to leave." So after a few years, I did eventually get out of it, and I actually give a lot of credit to my wellness journey for helping me see, like, the bigger picture and get out of this place where I was just, like, so stuck on this, like, one in this one, like, final, like, way of living, like, this one goal of being, like, this top space in the music industry. But the interesting thing about all of this is that if current me were to time travel to the past, like, me today with my boundaries, my embodiment, my knowledge, my mindset, my core beliefs, if I were to time travel and redo that time period with me today, it would not be a super toxic situation because I would not be available for the drama. I would not be available for overworking. Like, my mindset and everything would be so different that it would probably be just a completely different experience. I would see the opportunities in it a lot more. I wouldn't allow it to suck my soul because today I let nothing suck my soul. And I say all of this to say that when you're feeling stuck, it's very interesting because it's not always about your external environments. I mean, sometimes it is, there's levels to it. Maybe if you're like if it's abusive, like emotionally or physically, like that, yes, like definitely leave that environment ASAP. But a lot of the times it's things that we can do now, shifts that we can make internally within our mind, within our body, just different core belief systems that we can like changes we can make today to have a completely different experience. So, yes, I see some more people in the chat. Yes, Carol class tuning in from Baltimore. Yes, bare hands that I can totally resonate. So, yes, I'm glad that this is resonating. And I want to talk about a few of those things. Yes, awareness is definitely key, 1,000%. So I want to talk about a few of the things that help me at that point and also different points of my life get from this place of feeling stuck. And I do think that the tactics that I'm about to discuss, they translate. It's not just like feeling stuck in a career or a job. I think they translate to like literally every aspect of your life, whether that's friendships, whether that's family, whether that's money, career, like love, relationship, whatever it is, I do think they translate to everything. So my first tip is to make a decision, like, decide that you get to live differently. And it's interesting because even as I say this now, I'm like, this it feels almost, like, simple, but it's not because a lot of times we're 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and we're not making clear decisions on what we want. So, if you like, decide that you get to live your dream life, decide that you get to live an easeful life. Decide that you get to express your creativity. Decide you get to be in your dream relationship, like whatever it is. Decide you get to to create so much money easily without working all crazy all the time. So, make a decision because a lot of times when our decisions aren't really clear and we do have that, like, one foot in, kinda like one foot out approach, maybe the universe or, the world, they want to give it to us. Hello, coming in from Jamaica, New York. Yes, I'm talking about the story when I when I was in New York for over a decade, yes. But a lot of the times when we're not crystal clear on what we want and we're not deciding that we get to have it, it's a block where maybe it does wanna come in, but it's like a closed door almost. We have this closed door, this block where it can't fully come in because we're not being clear on our decisions and we're not deciding and declaring that that is what we get to have. So, yes, in the chat, like, what are you declaring that you get to have? And I know some of this is personal, but, like, what is it that you absolutely get to have? You get to have it now. And also, I think a really good trick too is not even just deciding what it is that you get to have, but feeling that feeling now. So you want to have freedom of time and you want to work for yourself, have freedom of time, and have all of these things. What does that feel like now? And feel that like today, tomorrow, the next day, and that creates a space and an opportunity for it to come with so much more ease versus the resistance in the closed door. So let me know if this is resonating, and yeah, let's move on to the next tip. So I put reclaim your time and your energy literally like 1,000 times over, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time, because your energy is for you first. Period. Your time and your energy is for you first, for you to create whatever it is that you wanna create, for you to spend it however you wanna spend it. After you feel nourished and you feel fulfilled, then your time and your energy is for other people. And I feel like in today's society, the visual that literally just came to my head is a balloon, like a water balloon, and it has all these holes in it. So it's just like all the water is leaking out, and the water doesn't even stay in the balloon for more than like a minute. And I feel like that's how a lot of people live. That's definitely what is pushed on society because it is how it is. We're not taught to necessarily like keep our time and our energy for ourselves first, but we're taught to give it out to everyone, to our jobs, to drama, to stress, to X, Y, and Z without fulfilling and nourishing our mind, body, and our souls first. So Maxie in the chat said, "No longer allowing work drama and work stress to overtake 1,000%." I've been there, I've done that, and the interesting thing is that once you declare that you're no longer available for it, it might still happen, but it doesn't affect you because 'cause you're not available for it. And then the people who, like, the queens and kings of the drama and the stress and etcetera, it's like you're almost boring to them. It's like they wanna go mess with someone else or, like, push that on someone else because they see that you don't engage. It's almost like you're starving it. It's like you starve it, and then they have they have nothing to even give to you anymore. So I absolutely love that. Their hand said, "I get to have a successful soul business and beautiful divine union." Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. I relate so much. That is so beautiful, Christina. You declared it, so it's literally already coming to you. Love that. And Carol Plus said, "Feel like I prioritize work over myself." Yes, 1,000%. And it's kinda It's almost like we have to be the rebels because that is what society teaches us. Society literally said, "You go to school, you do this, you work for however many years, and you give all of your time and all of your energy to that first versus to ourselves, and then sometimes we don't even realize it until we're, like, very burnt out, like rock bottom burnt out, and then we're like, "Wait, something needs to change." So, yes, reclaiming your time and your energy. And under this, I also wrote, like, when it comes to nourishing yourself first, I think a really good tactic or tool is what you love to do as a child, because sometimes this gets lost as we become adults, but creating the space to do whatever it is that you love to do as a child. It could be something as like, simple as, like, a yo-yo. I don't even know if yo-yo still exists. I'm clearly a '90s baby because I just said yo-yo. Whether you like to doodle, play an instrument, yo-yo, do gymnastics, like, whatever it is that you love to do as a child, can you create pockets of time throughout your day just to dedicate to your inner child? Because something like that really, really nourishes your inner being, and it feels so good, and I feel like that's just such a great part of reclaiming, like, your time and your energy and nourishing yourself. And then for the next tip, I put gratitude because it is very easy, especially when you're going down a hole of, like, you're not feeling good, you're feeling stuck. It's really easy to look at everything you don't. But I think that it's very important to look at everything you do have. So even while you are working on changing whatever it is that you wanna change, having gratitude for the simple things that you have, like a roof over your head and food and water and friends and breath and life. The fact that we all woke up today is a blessing that we could all be grateful for because that means we have an opportunity to create change. So gratitude to me is almost like a magic wand because it's like the situation may not have changed yet, but your perspective will be completely different by creating a gratitude practice. It is literally yes, Christina said, I truly believe having gratitude can be a catalyst for change. But yes, 1,000%. I totally agree. I think it's one of the most important things in making this a part of your daily practice. So whether you're when you wake up in the morning, this is what I do. When I wake up in the morning, like before I get out of bed, half the time I'm still half asleep. I just name a few things that I'm grateful for. And that's kind of how I start my day every single day. And I've been doing that for years. And it just, the perspective is just so beautiful of what you do have versus what you don't have. Yes. And then for the next, okay, so for the next, step, I'm really excited. I put boundaries as the foundation. Oh my gosh. Yes. Boundaries as foundation. So I have a course where I go really deep into the world of boundaries, and I'm so obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. I also feel like it's a little bit different than how mainstream talks about boundaries today, because I feel like mainstream is very much about, okay, you gotta put up all these walls, so like things can't touch you and things can't come in. But the way I talk about boundaries are you're actually creating space for everything that it is that you do want. So whatever you want to bring into this world, whatever you want to attract, your boundaries are allowing you to create space for that. Almost like your boundaries help you become more of a magnet for everything it is that you want. And also the way I talk about boundaries are that the boundaries are set with first with are set with yourself first. I know that a lot of popular today's boundaries are about how you can establish boundaries with people. So if you're going up to a friend or a family member or whoever, and you're like, "Hey, you really did X, Y, and Z the other day, and I didn't like that. I need to set a boundary with you." But the way I kinda look at it is that when you do that, you're giving all of your power or a lot of your power away to them because they have the opportunity now to respect your boundaries or disrespect your boundaries. So the way I look at boundaries are you set your boundaries with yourself. So the only person that can break your boundaries is yourself. And I go a lot deeper into that in the course, but I think that boundaries are the foundation, not just even when you're feeling stuck, but I feel like healthy boundaries are the foundation of life because when you're not clear on what you're willing to engage in and what you're not willing to engage in, it's just so much more easy to leak energy, to leak time, to waste I don't wanna say waste because everything's a lesson, but to really just be like that balloon almost where there's holes, there's things sucking your energy, and there's just no clarity on, what it is that you really want to do. Yes, I love that perspective on boundaries. Yeah, I think I love it, and it's just I feel like it puts the power back in our hands because no one can break our boundaries. No one can break my boundaries. The only person that can break my boundaries is myself. And if I were to break my boundaries, I would have to check myself. I did that. No one else did that. And I feel like a lot of the times when we ask others to respect our boundaries, more often than not, they're not always really like, yeah, they have the opportunity to respect it or not respect it. I feel like a lot of people it it's gonna be hard for them to do it if they weren't doing it before. They're almost to change an aspect of their selves. And if they're not committed to that change, they might not be able to hold whatever boundary it is that we want them to respect. So, reclaiming our power, especially with our boundaries, and also using that as a tool to make us more of a magnet. Yes, I'm glad that that was, like, clear because sometimes when I explain it, I'm like, I hope people are getting what I'm trying to say. Yes. And then for the next tip, I was a little spicy when I wrote this in my journal. So the next tip, I wrote release the mental shackles that you have choice. AKA, no one is forcing you to do X, Y, and Z. Like we always have choice in life. All right, let me break this down a little bit. So this comes back to the power of choice. So even when we are feeling stuck in whatever aspect of your life, or even if something is annoying us, we're just not really feeling it, just coming back to this center point that we have choice. No one is forcing us to do like, for example, when I was feeling stuck, when I first started my career, no one was forcing me to stay in that job, at that role, with those people. No one was forcing me to get on a train every single day and, like, go there. And a person might say, like, "Oh, well, you were in New York City," but I had choice. I had choice to get another job. I had choice to make money in another way. I had choice to figure it out. I had choice, and we always have choice. There are universal laws that we absolutely have to respect, like gravity is a universal law. If someone tries to fly, it's not gonna work because we have gravity. But then most of our day to day is choice. We have choice to be around certain people. We have choice to go or in certain corporate environments or to engage in certain corporate environments. We have choice to create. We have so much choice, and I feel like this is just a small mindset shift, but knowing that we always have the power and choice to change, it makes a lot of stuckness or a lot of, some of those negative feelings feel like, "Well, I have choice to change it." Like, it kinda gives us our power back to us. So, let me know if the power of choice is resonating with anyone, but I do think that it's really, really important, like, we have choice and power to be healthy. We have choice to do X, Y, and Z. Even if a person is in, like, the neighborhood I'm from in Philly, like, it's pretty rough, but a lot of people like, I'm from there, like, I have we all have choice there as well too. Every A lot of people most people in life have choice. I do understand that there's certain situations where that's not the case, but I feel like if you're watching this YouTube, that you really have choice in every aspect of your life. So, reclaim your power, reclaim the fact that you have choice to create whatever it is that you wanna create. Yes, it for sure resonates, but a tough one to take because we have made the choices to be where we are. Yeah, no, that makes so much sense, and I feel like this is where forgiveness can come into play because we we're all doing the best that we can with the tools that we can, with our background, with our experiences, with where we're from, with what was modeled in front of us, what we saw growing up. Like, we're born and we basically know nothing, and then we're taught all of these things. Um, so of course, there might be times in our life where, we might look at our previous selves and we're like, "Wow, like, I'm not necessarily, um, in love with the choices that I make," but I think forgiveness is so powerful. Putting your hand and I had to forgive myself 1,000 times. There's a Kendrick Lamar song called "Count Me Out," and in it, he says, "I had to forgive myself and learn how to love myself 1,000 times," and it's one of my favorite songs right now for that bar alone because it's so real. Putting your hand on your heart and really having a conversation with yourself and, asking yourself for forgiveness and forgiving yourself because we are all doing the best with the tools that we have. And the beautiful thing is that once you know better too, you can do better, and that's a part of the journey of life. Yes, and Christina said, "I completely agree. We sometimes feel so bound to do things, but we actually do have the power of choice." Yes, we are capable of so much more than we realize. Yeah. Yes, and Maxie, like, even if you have to forgive yourself every single day, like, forgiveness is so key because we're all just out here doing our best always. And then for the next tip, I put go deeper, meaning when things come up or maybe you're feeling stuck or, when anything happens in your life and you're kinda like you're coming into a place of awareness of, "Okay, like, I feel X, Y, and Z, or I wanna change X, Y, and Z." Instead of really looking at it surface level, going deeper, and I think this is when a journal practice could be very beneficial. Like, I journal every single day. I've been journaling every single day since, I don't even know, it's been some years, but I journal every single day, and going deeper and asking yourself, what was the root cause there? So it's almost like you know how the health of a plant really depends on the health of the roots? If a plant doesn't have healthy roots, the plant dies. So really getting to the root of your core beliefs in journaling, a good way of doing this it's like no wrong way to journal, but one of the ways I do this is when I first wake up and doing a stream of consciousness. So, when you first wake up, like, you have your journal and you're, like, close your eyes so you don't have to get out of bed, nobody's trying to get out of bed all early, but you just, like, write down whatever it is that comes to mind, and after you write for a few minutes, a lot of your root belief systems, a lot of your root thoughts, a lot of solutions will really, like, come to you with ease, and it's so powerful, so potent, but really going deeper and asking yourself, "Well, where did this belief come from?" And as you dig, you might find out that it came from childhood or that it came from something someone said to you 7 years and it really stuck within your body and your mind. But those core belief systems might not serve you anymore. You might have outgrown them or whatever it is that you want in life, they might not really like match with your desires. So getting to the root and if you need to change any of your root core beliefs, then having the opportunity to do that via a journal practice. Yes. And then for the next one, I wrote evaluate your circle. So I feel like this is good for in life, whether you're stuck in a certain aspect or not. I think that the people you surround yourself with are so important. They say that you are the sum or the they say that you're the average of the 5 closest people to you in life. So even if you have friends and maybe they're doing X, Y, and Z, and you're like, "Well, I love them. They do X, Y, and Z, and I don't love that." And they all do, like, that thing that you don't like. I feel like part of that thing might live within you a little bit. So really just, like, reevaluating your circle and making sure that you have a solid, healthy community and also being okay with people being in your life for a season. I think that some people are in your life for a season, whatever that season is, whether it's 3 months or, 30, 40 years. Some people are in your life for a lifetime, but having a solid community, sisterhood, etcetera, is really important, especially if you begin to level up. It's very easy to outgrow people. So, and then for the final one I put and after this, like, if anyone has any questions, or if anyone has any statements, like, I would love to stay around and chat to people if anything is coming up. But for the final one, this is also something that's very foundational. I said knowing that you are worthy because you exist. And I think that that is a foundational core belief that is so important to our body, knowing that you are worthy just because you exist. Like, you don't have to for, work hard to receive the love that you want, or you don't have to work, so hard and, like, let someone suck the soul out of you to receive the money that you don't have to you don't have to, like, do. You are literally worthy to receive everything that you want just because you exist, like, just because you were created. That alone is enough. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to heal and do 1,000 things, go to yoga for 1,000 years just to receive it. Like, no, you deserve to receive it now. And if you're watching this chat, I have a feeling that you're a great person. You have such a big, kind heart that you would do so much amazing work in this world. So that alone is like, yes, you deserve it. The people out here who are doing a lot of the chaos in the world, they think they deserve it too, and that's why, there a lot of times, like, that plays a role in why they're getting it, but, like, no, we have to know that we are just as capable and that we deserve it just because we exist. Yes, your main purpose is to exist 1,000%, and we are so worthy, and it's interesting because, at least for me, I didn't even know that I had some, and I worked through this already, but that in the past, I had some, like, feelings of unworthiness until it came up. Like, if you were to ask me years and years ago, "Do I feel worthy?" I would be like, "Duh, like, what are you talking about?" And then it came up that that was actually a block that I had. When I was trying to call in a lot of new things into my life, this block came up, and I realized that the block was that I didn't feel worthy. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that this existed." And that, that ties into, like, going deeper in the roots of, like, what the real root cause of something is, and the root cause of, a lot of my blocks was that I didn't feel worthy. And I worked through that. There's so many different ways you can work through that if you do feel like in some aspects of your life you don't feel worthy. You can journal, you can work with someone, you can affirm. Affirmations are like one of my absolutely favorite things to do. You can affirm to yourself, I am worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy. You can say it a lot when you wake up in the morning. You can say it a lot also at night because that's when it's very easy to access your subconscious mind. And what you're doing is you're basically reprogramming your mind because our mind it's almost like a computer system, and our computer system is created in our youth. So when we're like in the belly to like around 7 years old, I think. And a lot of those belief systems that were created at youth stick with us throughout our entire lives until we have an awareness and we want to change it. So if you did create a feeling of worthiness or any feeling during childhood, you always have the opportunity to reprogram your subconscious mind and your belief systems. So yes, like affirming that you are worthy every day, all day until you embody it. Yes, so true. It's easy to say, but can be hard to confront when a situation comes up. That's literally what happened to me. Like I wasn't even aware until it came up as a blocker, and I was like, "Oh, this has to be worked through." And then Christina says, "I have struggled with unworthiness as well." Yes, it takes work, but it's possible, yes. And I feel like this is the work that deserves our time and energy, like the work that we're doing to improve ourselves. That is the work that's like that makes sense because we're investing our time and our energy into our current self and into our future self. So it takes work, yes, but it is also completely possible to reprogram your mind, your subconscious beliefs to become a magnet for your desires and to embrace change. So I think that was my last one. Yes. That was my last tip. We've been on for 40 minutes. That's exciting. This is my first live. If anyone has any questions on anything I said, like, definitely let me know in the chat. I'm, like, so excited that I figured, how to do the live thing on YouTube, but this was also a really great, like, chat session as well. Like, I really relate with a lot to what people said, and I thank you for the engagement because it's like it's good for me to like, bounce back as well. Yes, I'm not seeing this looks lovely. Thank you. I received that. Thank you for stopping by as well. Yes, I really appreciate you and these tips. They were all so great. Definitely subscribe to my channel as well. And if you know anyone who you really feel like could benefit this content, definitely send it to them. That's one of my goals. I really want to like reach people who need this because when I was in some of my most stuck moments or like darkest moments, I feel like I always had a person who could help me like pull me out of it. So I want to be that for someone else as well. So definitely send this to anyone who you think could use it. Yes. And I'll chat with everyone later. All right, thank you. Bye.